Top stories. Film and television actress Hayden Panettiere has died at the age of 36. She's most known for her television roles, including the science fiction show Heroes, as well as the country music drama Nashville. Well, so far, no cause of death has been revealed, and the circumstances surrounding her death remain unknown. President Trump says that the U.S. will be reducing joint military exercises with South Korea, which is a key regional ally. Those exercises are now underway. The president cited Seoul's lack of help with Iran and his positive relationship with North Korea's leader. Trump said that the exercises send a signal that is, quote, inappropriate and hostile towards North Korea. Tropical storm Lala knocked out power to more than 160,000 customers in Hawaii. The storm was a Category 1 hurricane when it made its closest approach on Saturday. It pummeled parts of the state with torrential rain, powerful wind gusts, flooding, and landslides. The storm is now moving away, but some islands are still getting battered with some heavy rain and winds. It's now been a week since a devastating 7.4 magnitude earthquake in Colombia, which is estimated to have killed at least 290 people and injured thousands more. But authorities are not giving up hope of finding more survivors, with at least 140 people still missing at this hour. Search operations continued on Sunday in some of the worst hit areas, including Colombia's third largest city of Cali. And as the rubble is cleared, communities are discovering just how much was lost in this disaster.
What you've encountered is a lot of pain. People who lost everything, their homes, their belongings, and people who died. For us, the hardest part is finding people beneath the rubble.
And Latin music stars united in Miami to raise awareness for donations for relief efforts after the recent earthquakes in both Colombia and in Venezuela. CNN's Carolina Peguero reports.
United for Our Own is the name of the concert that brought together more than a dozen artists in hopes to raise donations for those impacted by the devastating earthquakes in Venezuela and Colombia. The proceeds from ticket sales, online, and phone bank donations will go to help rebuild communities, homes, provide food and medicine to the displaced, as well as mental health support to adults and children. The event that was originally organized to aid Venezuela after the two earthquakes struck on June 24th, killing more than 6,000 people, was later designated to help Colombia when on August 10th, a 7.4 magnitude earthquake shook the nation, leaving more than 250 dead. International Latin artists like Marc Anthony, Chayanne, Luis Fonsi, and others donated their talent and efforts for the cause, made possible by the collaboration of several nonprofit organizations like Global Empowerment Mission, World Central Kitchen, Maestro Cares Foundation, and Univision Foundation. Fans came from all over to support and share their thoughts and prayers for those impacted by the natural disasters.
I believe in brotherhood among the nations, especially Latin nations, who that's what we're here for.
This is the best time to embrace each other and to show our brothers and sisters from Colombia and Venezuela that we are united, right? And that we care for each other, and that I know they're going through a difficult time, that they're gonna go through, and with our help and the help of God, I'm pretty sure that everything is gonna be better for them.
History can change in either a good or a bad way, so I'm here to just support and donate and help as much as I can.
The initiative comes in a crucial time of need where families who have lost it all, their loved ones and their homes in both Venezuela and Colombia, slowly rebuild their lives and face the long road ahead of them. Carolina Peguero, CNN, Miami.
Well, still on the way, summer's new accessory is sun protective clothing. Just ahead, brands are seeing a growing trend among American consumers. Details on the fashion trend that has folks covering up.
It is the biggest upset in sports history. It's what sport was all about.
Decades in Sports, next Sunday at 9.
You're up to speed on the markets, and here are your business headlines. Global financial markets, they are in limbo as a deal to fully reopen the Strait of Hormuz has still not materialized. Oil futures were flat on Sunday as talks between the U.S. and Iran are stalled. And although Tehran and Oman are negotiating over the crucial waterway, there are no immediate signs of a deal. Developers have withdrawn their plans for a 15-building data campus in the state of Georgia. And this after residents in the city of Lovejoy rejected the proposal for a sprawling 400-acre center. And it comes amid rising concerns over water pollution and the growing national resistance to AI infrastructure. And a slew of new Disney movies in production were unveiled at a fan convention. Top headliners included Anne Hathaway, who announced a new Princess Diaries film, and Benjamin Bratt announced the upcoming release of a Pixar animation Coco 2. Other films that were mentioned included Incredibles 3, Frozen 3, and Zootopia 3. Americans are making sun protection summer's hottest accessory. Clothing brands are catching onto a growing trend for sun-protective clothing. According to a fashion forecasting firm, Google searches for UV shirt jumped 26%, and views went up more than 100% on TikTok. At Athleta, an athleisure fashion brand owned by Gap, nearly 50% of its early summer inventory featured sun protection. Retail intelligence firm Edited found UV apparel sold at brands that grew at 12% from last year. For our international viewers, World Sport is next. For everybody else, I'll be right back with you with more of your headlines.
Throat most readily. Or maybe a saltwater gargle.
Sold. Congratulations, sir. That is a new record.
You realize a JPEG doesn't count as a financial plan, right?
Maybe. I mean, yes. No.
PNC Bank believes a little boring advice goes a long way.
Maybe. I mean, yes. No.
PNC Bank believes a little boring advice goes a long way.
Vacation next week, Lisa. 5 days. Nice. Big win for your alma mater. Nice. Congrats, bud.
How old you?
No state. Ted, a little behind on mandatory training. Let's get it done, pal.
How does he know everything?
I won. How long has Pat Brown worked here? Pat! 7 years next month. Thanks for the hard work.
Paycom. Set your HR and payroll to automatic.
When it comes to Viking hand or Dupuytren's contracture, and you can't lay your hand flat or grip a doorknob, don't be a Viking.
Surgery isn't the only option.
Not offered? Get a second opinion. Visit findahandspecialist.com.
I used to think all money managers were the same, but Fisher used to think all money managers were the same, but Fisher and
Stay invested. From our studios in Abu Dhabi, join me for Connect the World with Becky Anderson.
Weekdays on CNN.
Why, particularly in Gaza, why has leadership failed here?
Selfish, short-term interest.
The allegations, I mean, this is chilling, stomach-churning stuff.
Yes, it is. What happens, Maria Corina Machado, what happens if you're arrested?
Well, we're taking one day at a time.
Why has leadership failed here?
Selfish, short-term interest.
The allegations, I mean, this is chilling, stomach-churning stuff.
Yes, it is. What happens, Maria Corina Machado, what happens if you're arrested?
Well, we're taking one day at a time.
I can tell you that the American people with Donald Trump, through thick and thin, even they, a majority of them, 52% disapprove of the job that President Trump is doing on gas prices. This simply put are the types of numbers that if you're a Republican running in these midterm elections, you do not like, you very much want to be running away from President Trump, at least in how it comes to how Americans feel on gas prices. Now, what is driving this? Why are these numbers so low? You know, you go back to the 2024 campaign, President Trump put up a historically strong performance for a Republican candidate among working class voters. That is those making less than $50,000. And this is what is driving it. Look at this. Disapprove of Trump on gas prices among those making under $50,000 per year. Among them all, look at this number. 86%. You can't get 86% of Americans, or even a subgroup of Americans who are not a partisan subgroup, to agree on anything, but they do when it comes to gas prices, disapproving of President Trump among those making less than $50,000. More than that, look at this across the different parties. We get 66%, a very unlucky 66% indeed, of Republicans making under $50,000 who disapprove of the job that President Trump is doing on gas prices. How about, get this, 90% of independents who make less than $50,000 disapprove of the job of President Trump on gas prices, and 93% of Democrats who disapprove of the job that President Trump is doing on gas prices amongst those making less than $50,000.
That's Harry Enton. And by the way, those numbers are only adding to Republican concerns over how the midterms will shake out. The Americans will be heading to the polls in less than 3 months. We spoke earlier with CNN political analyst and political opinion columnist Juan Brownstein about the current political climate and why the GOP may be losing some of its grip on parts of the country.
The middle of the country is where some of the sharpest movement away from Democrats and toward Republicans have been since Obama's presidency. I mean, when Obama came in, it's hard for people to imagine today. I mean, Democrats had senators in South Dakota, in North Dakota, in Iowa, in Nebraska. He won Ohio and Iowa twice. Obviously, all of those places have moved very much toward Republicans, really around kind of the interrelated actions of two core constituencies, white voters without a college degree, who are half or more of the electorate in all of the states that we talked about, just mentioned, and several more across the region, as well as rural residents who are more plentiful in these places as well. Now there is an opportunity for Democrats. Trump, mostly because of the economy. I mean, Trump's approval among working class whites, as we talked about before, he won about 2/3 of them in all three of his races. Now he's down to about 50-50 approval among them, and below that in some of these states. And then in rural areas, the combination of the tariffs and the impact that's had on overseas markets for American agricultural products, as well as higher fuel costs, which also translates to higher fertilizer costs, give the opportunity to Democrats to lose by less. I mean, they're not going to win those places. They're not going to win working class white voters. But if they lose them by less, their strengths among other groups in the area, particularly college-educated whites and minorities, are allowing them to put many of these places back in play.
So overall, how do you think this translates to increased competitiveness in some of the Senate and governor's races?
Yeah, I mean, look, you could see the return of the Heartland Democrats this year, I think, without doubt. I mean, Democrats are seriously competing for the governor's mansions in Ohio and Iowa, which they haven't won either of those since 2006, with Amy Acton in Ohio and Rob Sand, who is now the favorite, I think, in Ohio, in Iowa, as well as the Senate races in both states, where Sherrod Brown has been leading in polls in Ohio. It's more of an uphill climb in Iowa, and there are even long shot chances, I think, for Democrats in Kansas and Nebraska. I mean, obviously, those are much tougher states for Democrats, but they are on the map this year in a way they have not. And it's not only in these governor and Senate races. There are 3 competitive House races in Iowa, 3 in Michigan, 4 in Pennsylvania, 1 in Nebraska, 1 to 2 in Wisconsin. I mean, this region really is at the fulcrum of the 2026 election. And, you know, you can look at this from the other side of the lens, which is that if Democrats can't make some breakthroughs, if they can't regain some ground in this area in this year when Trump's approval has skidded so much and there are so many openings with groups that have leaned right, you have to ask yourself, is this really swing terrain? Because if Democrats can't, I think, reestablish a beachhead, kind of a mixed metaphor in this landlocked part of the country, but if they can't establish a beachhead this year, when are they going?
Thanks to Bombassi for that. The commander of U.S. Central Command is pushing back after concerns about morale and mental health aboard the USS Abraham Lincoln. Admiral Brad Cooper visited the aircraft carrier this weekend as part of a recent trip to the Middle East. And the ship has been deployed for more than 250 days after being sent to the region to support U.S. operations in Iran. Admiral Cooper says that the USS Abraham Lincoln has, quote, among the lowest mental health cases out of the Navy's 11 active carriers. But he also acknowledged the challenges of a mock deployment at sea. Here's CNN's White House correspondent Julia Benbrook with more.
In a statement over the weekend, CENTCOM Chief Admiral Brad Cooper called his recent visit to the USS Abraham Lincoln, quote, awe-inspiring. That visit comes as there are growing concerns about the conditions on that ship. The Lincoln has been deployed for nearly 9 months as it is supporting operations in the Middle East, and its combat efforts have prevented it from making stops at friendly ports to regather supplies, get the sailors rest. That has led to a number of family members voicing concerns. One crew member told us that morale on the ship is very low and that there is this regular strain on some essential amenities. Cooper did say that out of the 11 active aircraft carriers, that the Lincoln actually has among the lowest cases related to mental health right now. He went on to say this doesn't mean that all is perfect. Find any of the nearly 4 million Navy veterans in America today, and they will likely tell you that service at sea for long periods isn't for everyone. It is uniquely challenging and tough, and every single one of us, including me, reacts to stressors in different ways. President Donald Trump was recently asked about this lengthy deployment and the mental health concerns surrounding it, and he seemed to dismiss those concerns. He said that the deployment wasn't nearly long enough. Those comments have received swift criticism. He did say that the Lincoln would be traveling out of the region soon and it would be replaced with a very similar ship. A U.S. official tells us that that swap was previously planned. Julia Benbrook, CNN.
Opening statements are expected later today in the trial against the man accused of killing hip-hop star Tupac Shakur. 63-year-old Dwayne Davis is the first and only person to face charges linked to Shakur's death back in 1996. The prosecutors are aiming to prove that he orchestrated the killing of the rap legend, but agree he did not fire the fatal shots. The judge has ruled that Davis's memoir and previous interviews are admissible as evidence. Davis has pleaded not guilty to charges of first-degree murder with a deadly weapon and attempt to promote, further, or assist a criminal gang. The former MLB pitcher Tommy John has passed away. His death happened on Sunday. He is perhaps best known as the namesake of the revolutionary elbow surgery, which gave the left-hander's career incredible longevity. The Tommy John procedure now allows doctors to use grafted portions from other tendons in the body to reconstruct the ligament in the elbow. In a statement from the New York Yankees. John is remembered as a longtime fan favorite and as a bedrock of the Pins and Stripes roster. Just last month, he was reportedly battling health issues at his home in Florida. Tommy John was 83 years old. Thank you so much for joining me the last hour. I'll be right back with more of your headlines in a moment.
And Michael are back together. Some thrilling cinematic movies. If I got news for you, new season premieres September 12th on CNN.